All right, thank you guys. Happy Sunday to you. Hopefully you're having a great Christmas Day weekend. And welcome to Brock Page Productions. I'm your host, Brock Page, and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. And if you really end up enjoying this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up by hitting that like button. And if you haven't already joined the Brock Page delegation, please feel free to do so right now by tapping that subscribe button below. Hey guys, we got ourselves a really good slate of NBA action here on Sunday, so let's go ahead and dive in. All the games are queued up, fired up, ready to go on the big screen behind me. And we're going to take a look at the Mavs taking on the Clippers, 3:30 p.m. Eastern start time in Los Angeles. The Clippers are the 5-point favorite at home, totals 228 and a hook. Now we're 6-2 with a push in our last 9 board member tier package picks on patreon.com/BrockPage. We're also a perfect 3-0 in our last 3 daily best plays on that site as well. And the good news is this: we have a daily best play and a board member tier pick going off today. That daily best play will cost you just $1.99. And if you want to join the community of over 775 handicappers who are signed up and active on that page, a link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Now the Clippers are on a 2-game winning streak to start the 2021 season. Victories over a solid Nuggets and Lakers team to start off the year. Now the Clippers also successfully covered the point spread in those contests as well. LA scoring 119 points per contest on average already, and they're shooting 51% from the field. Paul George is averaging 28 points a game, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal. And of course, Kawhi Leonard is also scoring 24 points a night, along with 4 rebounds and 5 assists. Now, the 6'7" forward is also averaging 3 steals a game, as well as a block. The Clippers are giving up just 108 points per contest, and they're holding their opponents to just 30% shooting from beyond the arc. Now, they're squaring off against a Mavs team who's on a 2-game losing streak themselves. Losses to the Suns and Lakers to start their 2021 campaign themselves. And in addition to starting the season off 0-2 against the point spread, the Mavs have failed to cover the number in 8 out of their last 10 head-to-head meetings with Los Angeles. Just 2-8 straight up in those contests as well. Now, the Mavs are allowing 122 points per contest thus far in the season, and they're letting their opponents shoot nearly 53% from the field. Now, total-wise, the Mavs' most recent outing with the Lakers got 27 points above the posted number for that contest. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, the Clippers are 2-0 to the over on the season themselves. So with all that said and done, we normally start off the videos with an underdog. We're going to start off with a little bit of chalk here. Give me the LA Clippers -5 and the over 228.5 in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for NBA here on a Sunday. And once again, happy Sunday to you guys. Hopefully you're having a great Christmas Day weekend. New Year's is right around the corner. Like I said a few days ago, it's like a big giant weekend. But anyway, before we dive into some more free content, just gotta quickly remind you once again, we're 6-2 with a push in our last 9 board member tier package picks on patreon.com/BrockPage. We're also perfect 3-0 in our last 3 daily best plays on that site as well. Both of those memberships have plays going off today. And if you want access to the daily best play, it's only going to cost you just $1.99. And just remember, guys, when you sign up for a membership on Patreon, you get access to all the lesser expensive memberships absolutely free. And no, you did not mishear me. When you sign up for one of my memberships on Patreon, you instantly get access to all the lesser expensive tiers absolutely free. The cheaper memberships are included with your purchase. And for those who are wondering what the difference is between my free picks here on YouTube and my premium plays on my Patreon site, what I do on Patreon is I make life a lot easier for you as I break down the daily card and focus in on just 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're my personal plays, games that I personally have action on. Sometimes we have a little bit more than 3 to 4 plays, sometimes a little bit less, but on average, 3 to 4 premium selections per day. And I'll tell you this much, I'm having a lot more success betting on games that way versus wagering on every single game on the slate, side and total, like I do with my free leans here on YouTube. That is not a good way to win money. But anyway, there is a tutorial video right now on the Patreon homepage that shows you how to easily navigate the site. You can actually watch that right now. No subscription is required to watch that on the homepage. You can do that for free. And we currently have a community of over 775 handicappers signed up and active on that site. So if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, I think that's a great idea. I strongly recommend it. I'd love to have you. Link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into some more free content right here on YouTube. We got it queued up, ready to go. We're going to take a look at the Nets versus the Hornets, 7 p.m. Eastern start time in Charlotte. Now, the Nets are the 10-point favorite on the road. Totals 230, juice to the over. The Brooklyn Nets are 2-0 straight up on the season, 2-0 against the number in those contests. The Nets they're averaging 124 points per contest and shooting 47% from beyond the arc. These guys are deadly from long range. Kyrie Irving is scoring 32 points a game along with 5 boards and 6 assists. Meanwhile, Kevin Durant is also scoring 26 points per contest himself, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals for the 6'10 forward. Now, the Nets are allowing just 97 points per contest, and they're holding their opponents to just 37% shooting from the field. They're taking on a winless Hornets team who failed to cover the number in both of those losses. Charlotte's giving up 115 points a game, and their opponents are shooting nearly 50% from the field against them. Now, total-wise, Charlotte's most recent outing with OKC fell below the posted number for that contest. Meanwhile, the Nets on the other side of things are 2-0 to the under thus far for the season themselves. They've been very good defensively. I'm going to lean toward the Brooklyn Nets -10 and the under 230 in that contest. All right, next matchup I have for you, it is going to be Orlando versus Washington, and that's going to be a 7 p.m. Eastern tip-off in the nation's capital. The Orlando Magic are the 1-point favorite on the road, totals 229 flat. The Magic's 2-0 straight up on the season, 2-0 against the spread in those ball games. Orlando scoring 122 points a game and shooting nearly 50% from the field. Terrence Ross is scoring 22 points a game from the bench, 3 rebounds and a couple of blocks for the role player. And Evan Fournier is also scoring 19 a game along with 3 boards and a couple assists himself. Fournier is also averaging 3 steals a game as well. Now, the Orlando Magic here, they beat Washington by 10, and that was just yesterday. And speaking of the Wizards, they're 0-2 straight up on the season, 122 points a game they're giving up. Now, the Washington Wizards are also allowing 49% shooting from the field. And when it comes to the scoring in this one, these teams saw their head-to-head contest yesterday get nearly 20 points above the posted number. Meanwhile, the Magic is 2-0 to the over for the entire season themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Orlando Magic -1 and the over 229 in that game. All right, next matchup I have for you here on the slate, it is going to be Spurs Pelicans, and that's going to be a 7 p.m. Eastern tip-off at the Smoothie King. The Pels are -5.5 at home, totals 228 and a hook. The San Antonio Spurs are plus $1.80 for some money line cash. The Spurs are 2-0 straight up on the season, 2-0 against the number in those contests. They're actually coming fresh off a solid 5-point victory over Toronto yesterday. The Spurs are scoring 125 points a game and shooting 41% from beyond the arc. DeMar DeRozan scoring 28 points a game, 7 rebounds, 9 assists for the guard. DeRozan's also averaging a couple of steals a night, and he's also hitting 90% of his free throws. Meanwhile, Patty Mills, he's scoring 17 a game from the bench. This guy's been one of the best role players in the NBA over the past couple of seasons. A couple of boards and 3 assists a night for Patty Mills as well. The Spurs have successfully covered the number in their last 5 straight meetings with a member of the South West Division. Now the Pels on the other side, they got manhandled by Miami on Christmas Day. That was actually a good Patreon win for us, but that was a 111-98 loss to the Heat in that one. The Pels are I was actually late to Christmas dinner because of that game. I was enjoying it so much. Couldn't leave. Had to enjoy it and soak it in and watch it to the very last second. But anyway, the Pels are averaging just 105 points a game after 2 contests this season. And when it comes to the total in this one, the Pels are 2-0 to the under thus far in the season. I'm going to lean toward the underdog San Antonio Spurs plus 5.5 and the under 228 and a hook. Next matchup, it is going to be Bucks versus the Knicks, 7:30 p.m. East. The Bucks are minus 12.5 on the road. Totals 222 flat. Milwaukee scoring 130 points a game through 2 contests, over 53% shooting from the field, and over 47% shooting from downtown. Chris Middleton scoring 29 points a game along with 9 rebounds and 7 assists. Meanwhile, Giannis Antetokounmpo is scoring 25 points a game himself, 13 boards and 3 assists for the Greek Freak. The Bucks have dominated the Nets in 9 out of their last 10 meetings. They covered 80% of those ball games as well. And speaking of the Knicks, they're 0-2 to start their 2021 campaign. I don't think anyone's surprised about that. They're also 0-2 against the number in those losses. New York scoring just 98 points a game, and they're allowing their opponents to shoot 48% from the field. Now, total-wise, when it comes to the number in this one, New York's season opener with Indiana got over the posted number. Meanwhile, Milwaukee's 2-0 to the over thus far in the year themselves. Give me the Milwaukee Bucks minus 12.5 in the over 222. I want all the chalk in that one. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Sixers versus the Cavs, 7:30 p.m. Eastern start time in Cleveland. The 76ers are the 7-point favorite on the road. Totals 216.5. The Sixers are 2-0 straight up on the season, just 98 points per contest they're giving up in those ball games. Joel Embiid is scoring 28 points a night along with a dozen rebounds and 2 assists. Meanwhile, Ben Simmons is scoring 16 points a game himself, 9 rebounds, 7 assists for the guard. Simmons is also averaging 2 steals and 3 blocks through a couple of ball games. Now they're taking on a Cleveland squad who lost 7 out of their last 10 meetings with the Sixers. The Cavs are also giving up 117 points per contest on the season thus far. And when it comes to the total on this one, Cleveland's 2-0 to the over thus far in this season, 6-2 to the over in their last 8, dating back to last season, of course. Give me the Philadelphia 76ers minus 7 in the over 216.5. Next matchup I have for you, it is going to be Celtics versus the Pacers, 8 p.m. Eastern tip-off at the Bankers Life Fieldhouse. The Celtics are the 2.5-point favorite on the road, numbers 220 and a hook. And if you like the Pacers to win this one outright, they're plus $1.15 on the money line. Now, the Pacers are 2-0 straight up on the season, 2-0 against the number in those contests. They're averaging 123 points per game and shooting nearly 53% from the field. Domantas Sabonis is scoring 27 points a night, along with a dozen rebounds and 8 assists. Meanwhile, Victor Oladipo is also averaging 22 a game, along with 6 boards and 3 assists himself. Oladipo is also getting 2 steals a game. This Indiana defense is allowing just 106 points per contest. They've been very stout defensively through a couple of ball games. Meanwhile, on the Boston side of things, they're scoring just 108 points per contest themselves. They got blasted by Brooklyn on Christmas Day by nearly 30 points. Now, Boston's giving up 122 points per contest, and they're allowing their opponents to shoot nearly 46% from three-land. Now, total-wise, Boston's season opener with Milwaukee flew about 20 points above the posted number for that contest. Meanwhile, the Pacers on the other side, they are 2-0 to the over on the season themselves. We're going to lean toward an underdog in this one. Give me the underdog Pacers plus 2.5 and the over 220 and a hook. All right, next matchup I have for you, it is going to be Warriors versus the Bulls, 8 p.m. Eastern start time in the Windy City. Now, the Warriors are the 3.5-point favorite traveling to Chicago. Totals 227 flat. And if you'd like the Bulls to win it, they're plus 145 for an upset victory. The Bulls are led by 6'5 guard Zach LaVine, who's averaging 20 points a game and a couple of boards per contest. Lauri Markkanen is also scoring 19 a game himself, 8 rebounds and a pair of assists for the forward. They're taking on a winless Warrior squad who hasn't broken 100 points yet this season. Golden State is scoring 99 points per contest on average, and they're shooting just 35% from the field. And sadly enough, this former dynasty that was built on the three ball, they're let's try that again. Literally. Now let's try that again. Let's try that whole line again. Line. Give me the line. The former dynasty that was built on the three ball is literally shooting just 25% from downtown. In addition to losing their opening two games of the 2021 season, the Warriors also failed to cover the number in both of those contests. Now, total-wise, Golden State, their most recent outing with Milwaukee, got over the posted number for that contest. Meanwhile, Chicago's most recent outing with Indiana got over the line themselves. Give me the underdog Chicago Bulls plus 3.5 in the over 227. All right, next matchup I have for you, it is going to be Suns versus the Kings. This is actually a better matchup than most would think, and that's going to be a 9 p.m. Eastern start time at the Golden One Center. The Suns are the 3-point favorite at Sacramento, totals 226.5. And if you like the Kings to win this one outright, they're plus $1.30 for some money line cash. The Kings actually beat the Suns last night and held the Suns to just 103 points in that contest. The Kings also beat the Western Conference finalists, Denver Nuggets, in the season opener as well. Dropped 124 points on the Nuggets in that game. Needless to say, Sacramento is currently 2-0 straight up on the season, and they successfully covered the number in both of those contests. De'Aaron Fox is scoring 23 points a game along with 4 rebounds and 7 assists. Fox is also averaging a pair of blocks and a steal per game as well. Meanwhile, Buddy Hield is also scoring 18 points a game himself, 4 boards and a couple assists for the shooting guard. Now they're taking on a Suns team who's scoring just 104 points per contest, and they're connecting on just 29% of their three-pointers. Now the Suns have also lost 4 out of their last 5 ball games in Sacramento. Total-wise, Phoenix is 2-0 to the under thus far in the season, 70% to the under in their last 10 meetings with the Kings. I'm going to lean toward the underdog Sacramento Kings plus 3 and the under 226.5 in that game. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Timberwolves versus the Lakers, 10 p.m. Eastern start time in Los Angeles. The Lakers are minus 11, totals 226.5. Now the Lakers are giving up 116 points per contest. Their opponents are shooting nearly 49% from the field. The Lakers have also lost 7 out of their last 10 games against Minnesota, and they failed to cover the number in 70% of those contests. And speaking of Minnesota, they're 2-0 straight up on this season, 2-0 against the point spread in those contests. D'Angelo Russell is scoring 22 points a game, 4 rebounds and 5 assists for the shooting guard. Meanwhile, Malik Beasley is also scoring 21 points a night along with 5 rebounds himself. The T-Wolves are allowing just 106 points a game and just 26% shooting from beyond the arc. And when it comes to the total in this one, the T-Wolves are scoring 114 points a game. Lakers are 2-0 to the over. I'm going to lean toward the underdog Minnesota Timberwolves plus 11 and the over 226.5 in that game. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our quick pick recap, once again brought to you by patreon.com/Brock Page, where we are 6-2 with a push in our last 9 board member tier package picks on that website. I like the Clippers minus 5 over 228.5. I like the Nets minus 10 under 230. I'm leaning toward the Orlando Magic minus 1 over 229. I also like the San Antonio Spurs plus 5.5 under 228.5. I like, bless you. You're welcome. I like the Bucks minus 12.5 over 222. I also like the Sixers minus 7 over 216.5. I'm leaning toward the Pacers plus 2.5 over 220.5. I also like the Bulls plus 3.5 over 227. I'm leaning toward the Sacramento Kings plus 3 under 226.5. Last but certainly not least, please give this video a thumbs up right now if you enjoyed it. Give me the underdog Minnesota Timberwolves plus 11 and the over 226.5. The wife just sneezed. Actually, the wife and kid are downstairs building a basketball shooting game. We got it for him for Christmas. It counts like your shots and points, and it has a timer and a countdown, and they're like yelling at each other down there, of course. They might have killed each other already. But anyway, shout outs, YouTube. Shout out to the Mac, Repo Man, Vernon Williard, Luis Arazo, Round 1, Jose Rodriguez, St. James Jackson, Ray H., Scott Kaler from Anaheim, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to my paisan, Nicholas Calderon. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. Hey, did you guys kill each other down there yet? Building that machine? Okay, cool. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you guys end up getting a package here today, just keep in mind we'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you want to get on the action today, your purchase will be good through the end of the month, and then the auto bill will bill you on the 1st of January. So a lot of folks will wait till the beginning of the following month, but if you want to get on the action now, it's still a great price point in any package, great value. So once again, guys, if you end up signing up for a package here today, just keep in mind we'll bill you the day you sign up and then the 1st of every month following that. If you also get a package here today, just keep in mind all the lesser expensive packages on Patreon are included with your purchase. So if you get if you subscribe to the Underdog package, which is $4.99, you get all the memberships that are cheaper than that, absolutely free. It's included in your purchase. So it's a very value-driven site. A lot of great value there. But anyway, guys, most importantly, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Thank you for subscribing. We've had a great uptick in subscriptions over the past couple of days. I think we got like 200 subscribers in literally 2 days. That is not common for us here, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Got to thank you guys for joining me here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information day in and day out. So excited, can't even talk. But anyway, guys, happy Sunday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.